Hey guys, welcome to Davindy Doodles. If you're new here, I paint, create, and color all things nice and calming to help get us through the rest of our chaotic weeks. Today, I'm looking for a little bit of stress relief, and I have turned to Tatiana Bogema Stalova with Nice Little Town 6. This is one of my favorite coloring books to go to in terms of just stress relief. All of her foliage is super relaxing to me to color, and it's been a while since I've used my OHUHU markers. It's another one of those days I can't talk, so you better buckle up. But I am working on a page where it's just a nice little mouse napping. It's kind of weird with the way it's showing up on my camera. I can see better here than I can down here, so hopefully it's not an issue for you. But this is going to be a color chat, and if you've been to my channel before, you know that these always take me a hot minute, so be sure to grab your own craft, get a snack, get something to drink, because you're probably going to be here for a little bit. I really hope you're doing something else and that you're just using me for background noise, because quite frankly that's what this is intended for. Just something to chill out to while I ramble and we do something relaxing together. So with that said, I am already starting, and I'm wondering if this color is too dark because I'm not entirely sure what this little mouse dude is living in. I originally looked at it and thought it was a rock. I still do think it might be a rock. But I also kind of wonder if with things growing out of it, maybe they're growing behind it. Like, I can't tell that area there. But it also might just be like a big potato. I don't know, so I'm just going to color it the way I want, and I'm going to make it more of a red. So it's up to you guys. Is it a red potato or is it a red rock? Like, because clay rocks can be red, so you decide, and let me know in the comments which you think are better. This is one of my favorite books. I think I already said that, I can't remember. I need more coffee, to be honest with you, even though I've already had several cups. Yeah, so I might repeat myself a little bit, and please just kind of like stay with me here. I'm doing the best I can. It has been a while since I've caught up with you guys, but to be frank, the coloring chats are a little bit difficult for me to do. One, because my life is not terribly interesting, but also because I have a job now that requires me to talk quite a bit. And as an introvert, my brain just kind of gets fried with a lot of talking in general. So it's just difficult for me to think of things to say, to be able to verbally express that. As you can already tell, I get tongue-tied and my brain kind of jumps ahead of itself a lot. So it's just difficult to kind of do these more frequently like I used to. But it has been a while, and a couple things have happened, so I figured I've got some, stupid stories I can share, and hopefully I can share them with you. I'm really concerned to be doing this today because my computer is trying to die on me. I released my haul video last week, and I wasn't even sure I was going to be able to give you guys that. It started dying in the middle of rendering a 15-minute video. And keep in mind, this is a computer that is using the software for video editing that came built into the computer. So it's nothing like super extraordinary. I'm not trying to run DaVinci on it, even though I did try that once, and that just like completely melted it down. Maybe that's the problem, I don't know. But like, this is the video editing software that came on the computer, and if that's crashing, I don't know what to do at this point besides get a new computer or maybe try like factory reset. I really don't want to do that though, because I have Clip Studio Paint installed on this computer, and I do use it from time to time, especially with thumbnails and things like that. So I don't know, if you guys have trouble with your computers, feel free to share your woes, because I don't know how to fix it, and I spent a lot of money on this computer to be able to use it as a digital art and video editing processor, and I don't know if I got a lemon. My husband seems to think we got a lemon. I'm frustrated at this point because I love sharing stuff with you guys, and it's not wanting me to do that. And I'm also really irritated because I want to do some video game stuff and live streams. And I even have a capture card and all that, and it will not run that either. So I don't know, like I said, if it's just the specs aren't right on this computer, or if I'm just like, out of luck, whatever. I really do like the color now that it's drying. just putting that out there. But anyway, I have been rambling a lot, and I just want to kind of do a check-in. I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys have been exploring new crafts or have been keeping calm, chilling out with something that you enjoy doing. Feel free to drop that in the comments. I would like to know what you're working on while I sit here and ramble at you. Something I have been really interested in, but I just don't have the space to pick up another hobby right now. I really kind of want to do punch needling or whatever? I don't think it's cross stitch necessarily. It's like punch something. It keeps popping up on my phone. My phone keeps trying to get me to buy things. And there were like these beginner kits on Etsy that looked really cute. And I kind of want to try that, but one, I know I would stab myself and I wouldn't have anything to do with them after I completed them, so maybe when we move and I have a bigger art studio or more space, I can do that, but right now it's just like, I have so much going on, I can't take on another craft. So let me know if you have experience in that or what you're doing, or I don't know why, I dreamt about diamond painting last night. I've never diamond painted in my life. But I did have a dream about that last night, and that seems kind of like a nice chill thing to do. I don't know if that's accurate, but I know that was a big thing on the creators side for YouTube for a while, was to just do like diamond painting unboxings and sharing videos about that. And I never thought I would really get into it, but I don't know, I had a dream about it last night and I'm kind of curious. I don't know if I'm curious enough to ever want to pick one up, but I will tell you that something else I have started doing is, at the end of the day, my brain is just so done. I've started, like, it's done to the point where I can't write, which is really sad. I don't even want to read or look at words. I just literally want to kind of sit. I can't pick up a pencil to draw anything. Like, my brain is done on some days, okay? So I've started puzzling. And when I say puzzling, like jigsaw puzzles. Like, it's easier for me to sit there and just like poke puzzle pieces together and unwind that way lately than to do anything else. Just to unwind and like get ready for bed or something like that. I cannot for the life of me. I don't know. I'm getting really into it though. I had a puzzle I bought over COVID, and that was still one that I'm working on. I would come back to it like months after I put some pieces together, and I'll come back to it, and it's like now I'm just sitting there every night, like almost religiously. Every night I sit there and I put so many pieces together and I finish a section. It's so satisfying. So that's kind of something I've started leaning into. I bought a new one off Amazon that was kind of expensive, but I couldn't even find it on the brand is Ravensburger or something. I couldn't even find it on their online store, so I'm not sure if they make it anymore, and like maybe that's why it was more pricey, but it was beautiful, so I bought it. So I'm kind of getting into that now, and it's one of those things I don't really know what to do with them after I finish them. I mean, I guess I could resin them or something like that and hang them up if I wanted. But the one I have right now I'm not like in love with. It was just literally the last one on the shelf when COVID hit. This next one I will definitely be doing some resin for though, and saving that to hang it up somewhere, probably in my next art studio. So that's something else that's kind of going on, is my husband is getting really excited about the possibility of us, well, no, it's not a possibility. We are going to be moving next year. He's in the military, so we move every 4 or 5 years or so, which can be a pain in the butt, and I hate that streakiness, but whatever. It was a big object. I knew it was going to happen, so we're coming up on our last year here. It's technically our last hurricane season here in Louisiana. And I am so excited because all I want to do is go someplace, preferably up north. I would like to go back to my house in Pittsburgh, but I don't know. I'm open to other areas, even if it's somewhere like Texas, so we could be closer to the land that we purchased after we visited Big Bend National Park. Like, that would be cool to do, I think. So he's super excited, and like while he's talking about, you know, moving and all these possibilities, I'm just thinking about the art studio I want to have, because I have a nice room, but it's not ideal. It's literally just a bedroom in an apartment, and I will never ever live in an apartment again. I've already told him that. I am so tired of living in an apartment. It's not even funny. I am 33 years old. I want to live in a house away from people for the rest of my life. I'm tired of the walking around upstairs, which I understand she probably can't control, but when like there's arguments and you can hear it through the walls, or that keeps you up at like 10 at night and you have to get up early in the morning, you just want to scream. I am over it. I'm over the music in the parking lots and all that crap. So I told him I was never living in an apartment again. I don't care if you rent me a house. I'm living in a house. So that's the plan. Next year we're going to be going somewhere that's still a mystery, and that scares me because you never know where you might get. But I like to think it can't be worse than here. I do not do well in big cities. So I'm trying to be optimistic, and it's annoying because this always happens when I start getting comfortable and like making places more homey. That's when we're undoubtedly going to be moving. It happened when I was in Isla Mirada. I finally started setting up my library all nice, and we moved like a month later. So I'm finally getting an art studio set up. I have a nice worktop easel, which doesn't look so nice on camera, but it's nice. And I'm getting like shelves for it, and I'm setting it up, and I'm getting my house plants all squared away, and we're gonna be moving in less than like a year. But that's okay, because I'll just take this stuff to the next place. So I'm really excited about that. He actually, this is so dumb. I feel so stupid about this. Okay, so when COVID started, I didn't go anywhere because I have really bad anxiety and I didn't want to be around people, which I still don't want to be around people. But it was bad. Like, he would do the grocery shopping, he would go into the stores basically, and I would go with him, but I would sit my butt in the car. I didn't want to be in there, and usually stores did not want you to be in there. They wanted like one person at a time, and it's like he had to do it because I couldn't. So that was good and fine until about 3 weeks ago when he got deployed to respond to a incident in the Gulf. He was going to be gone for 3 weeks, and luckily he was able to come home fine, and like there was no issues getting back or anything. But he was going to be gone for 3 weeks, and suddenly I had to do all that stuff. And it had been a year, okay, since I had been in a grocery store. I had been to places like, well, you know, when the state started opening back up more, I had gone to places like Michael's and Barnes & Noble, places I'm just generally more comfortable because there's less people. So I had to go to the grocery store by myself and about had a freaking heart attack because I had no idea what was going on. The store had like, you know, the signs like stay 6 feet away. Fine, that's fine by me. And at this point, you know, there's vaccines and stuff, and they lifted the mask mandate. Well, to be quite frank with you, I hadn't had the vaccine yet. And yes, I don't want this to be like a huge, you know, issue with comments about it, things like that. I just hadn't had it yet. And so I responsibly wore my mask. I tried to stay 6 feet away from people, even though nobody in the store really like paid attention to that anymore. It was like COVID wasn't really a thing, but there was this lady. It was so funny. She would like saw me, I guess, with my mask, because oh my god, you know, that means I'm not vaccinated, so I'm suddenly the devil. And like she was like, she would see me and she would like almost run the other way, and it was the funniest thing to me. I loved it. So like she was like avoiding me essentially because, you know, basically having a mask on now signifies to people that you're not vaccinated, even though like even though I have my first dose at this point. I did it when the story happened. I have my first dose at this point. I'm getting my second one in 2 weeks, essentially. Like, she was like acting crazy. And that was fine, but then I started getting overwhelmed when I got to the aisles because I was trying to give people space, and people were all up in my face and in my space, which I didn't even like before COVID. So now you tack on the fact that I'm sure there's people running around without masks that are not vaccinated, and they're just in my space, in my personal space. It's like, you know what? You need to back up. You need to back up, and you need to give me my personal space, or there's going to be a problem. I'm going to have a panic attack, and you're not going to like me when I have a panic attack. So I did my best to stay away from people. It wasn't working, and there were all these like dots with arrows, kind of like go this way or go this way, and nobody was paying any attention to that. So I was getting confused, and then I get to the checkout and I'm like, what in the world? There's dots at the checkout, you know, stay 6 feet away from the person in front of you, kind of like spacing you out, but then you literally are basically rubbing elbows with the person to your left and right. And it was busy, and I was just like about to hyperventilate at this point because I was so overwhelmed. It was sad. And I'm just looking around and I'm going like, am I allowed to like put my stuff on the conveyor belt? Do I have to wait for the people ahead of me to take it off? Because I've heard people say that this particular store will like get on your case if you put your stuff on before the next person in front of you is done, because of the whole COVID thing. But that was more towards the start of it. And I'm just kind of standing there with my stuff because, you know, I was not getting a cart when I went to the store for the first time. I couldn't. No, I did the man thing, and I grabbed everything that I needed, and I freaking held it. I hurt my arm doing it, but I was like not getting a cart. I was not pushing one around the store. I was gonna carry my crap out. And I'm just standing there with all this heavy stuff, and I'm looking like a deer in headlights, and some cashier comes and grabs me. Okay, well, she starts, you know, bringing my stuff up. She's not very chatty, but whatever. I don't care at this point. I just want to go home and not cry. Like, that's my goal at the end of this shopping trip, because I was getting so overwhelmed and my heart was like starting to go crazy. And I was having trouble breathing because of the mask, which doesn't help. And I was just getting like really frustrated. So I'm trying not to like break down and just either start crying or just throw my crap on the belt and say I'm done and go home. Like, that really almost happened, but I stayed. You know, I told myself I was fine, there was nothing wrong, and I was good to go. And the lady's, you know, giving me my total, and there's some dude that walked up on me. Okay, this really made me mad. I was so mad. This was like really rude in my opinion. Like, he walked up so close on me that he was basically like touching my butt, okay, and like he's standing in front of the pay machine, and I'm like needing to pay, and she gives me my total, and he just kind of stands there, and it almost came out of my mouth. I almost looked at him and said, so are you gonna pay for my crap too, or are you gonna move? But thankfully I didn't have to be a bitch, and he realized the error of his ways, and he backed off, but only a little. And it's like, dude, if you do not give me at least 3 feet of space, I'm gonna freaking bite you. And I wanted to say that too, but I didn't. I was good, I behaved, I paid, and I got out of there. And I was scared to go back. Like, I had to sit in the car for a minute and just like catch my breath, because I was so like overwhelmed and just frustrated. It like, I don't know, it makes me sound pathetic, but the anxiety was real. And I've never seen a grocery store set up that stupid a way and been with so many people that can't follow the directions. I think that was a big thing, is like, if everybody followed the same directions, it probably would have been fine, but nobody was, so I didn't know what was going on. And it was so weird. It was just a mess. That's all it really amounted to, was it was a mess. And I was just like, done. I didn't want to go back to that store ever, but I managed to, like, the next week. I made sure to get enough to hold me over for a week because I did not want to go back. And it was much better because it was a lot quieter than the next time I went, so it wasn't like as overwhelming. and I was able to, like, you know, do more things without having that feeling of, oh my god, what am I doing? So that was nice. But man, I just don't like people in my space in general. I never have been somebody that can handle someone that close to me. It just really bothers me. Like, give me some space, back up. But I don't know, I've always felt that was really rude when people do that. But that could just be me wanting my space. So, like, that was my grand grocery store adventure. I was so frustrated. And it was funny because my husband does a lot of the cooking. Well, he does all the cooking because I don't like to. And when I try, it doesn't come out very well usually. It's just the way it is. So I'm over there. You know what? I'm gonna try and zoom you guys in a little. Maybe that'll help. But then I'm gonna lose you at some point. So this might be okay. But I was gonna make a roast, and we have a crock pot notorious for just heating up and continuing to go higher and higher in heat until it finally just like evaporates or chars your food. And I was so proud of myself because I followed the directions. I got it looking really good. It looked delicious, by the way. And I had checked on it and it looked amazing. And I was like, well, you know, I'll come back in another 20 minutes and I'll take it down, or I'll take it off and it'll be fine after that. I'll just eat it and be done. Yeah, that's not what happened. So I go to check on it in about 20 minutes and it is burned to a crisp. Now I followed a recipe that I found online and it would have been freaking delicious if my crock pot was not the devil. But I don't really know what happened. My husband said it was because I put it on high like the recipe said to. He said the most you ever put that particular crock pot on should be medium or low. I didn't realize that, and so when I left it, it just turned literally to like charcoal. Like, it smelled burned, it was hard as a rock. I was so upset. I didn't know what to do or how to fix it. I was mad. I was not happy with that. But that was like, I guess, a lesson, quote unquote. I wasn't having it. I was not happy. Because it was a good piece of meat and it was so good. If I had just taken it out when it still hurts my brain to think about it. I don't even want to think about it. But then thankfully I tried again. He's gonna have a brown door. I don't know why. He's got a very brown house. So I tried again, and this time I tried meatloaf, and I only had a pound of meat, but the recipe said it had to be a pound and a half. So I tried to cut back the ingredients, and then what happened? I did cut back the ingredients, but I still put in too much milk. So the milk, it was very wet, and I didn't have breadcrumbs, so I took like the saltine crackers for like soups. I took the soup crackers and I just crushed them up and I used that for my breadcrumbs. And I just kept adding breadcrumbs hoping that would work. And you guys, it actually worked. I could not believe it actually worked, and it was freaking delicious. So if you're ever out of breadcrumbs in a recipe, and you need a quick substitute, and you have saltine crackers, go for it. It works. So I'm gonna have to zoom you out a little. No, that's in. Go out a little. There. Because like I said, I was losing you with the being zoomed in so far. Usually I would do the foliage first, but I figured I would start on the big stuff since that was what I wasn't sure would actually work. This really bothers me. But whatever, it's just meant to chill out and relax. So yeah, that was like my big accomplishment while he was gone. I managed to make meatloaf and it didn't burn. I was so happy about that. I still am happy about that. Let's see. What else has been going on? I went to Target. I just have, you know, my general anxieties around people. I have a lot of things going on as far as like side projects go. So you guys might, if you check out my Instagram, which, you know, if you don't, you can, you should. I'm not gonna make you. It's not a requirement. But I post a lot of stuff on there that is stuff that I don't want to make a video of, or it's not enough to make a video of, that kind of thing. I feel like I have a different color that would be good for this. Where's my sheet? No, I don't. I lied. So I'm trying to figure out, like, what was I talking about? Oh, my projects. You guys may have noticed I didn't do a whole lot for Mermaid this year. And that's because I was all excited. I made my mermaid sketchbook. It was gonna be great. I was gonna complete it. I had every intention to complete it. And then my wonderful behind, I was like, you know what would be more fun to draw than Duncan and Pooja having a great time as like mermaids and all that stuff? Video game characters. Yeah, so I spent most of May drawing video game characters, which I'm going to be posting the sketches on Instagram soon once I finish up the whole cluster of them. And I've got a little project going on with them, and that's part of the reason why I'm using my OHUHU markers, is to kind of get back into them, because they're a lot of fun to use, I guess. I don't know. I just really want to use them, and I'm going to. But yeah, so that's that. It was a little disappointing, and I am kind of disappointed in myself that I did like 2 days of Mermaid and then got distracted by other things. But you know what? Life is too short. Do what you're passionate about, and the rest will follow. So I do have a mermaid sketchbook with like 3 pages in it, and I could always use it for next year, or I can use it... Oh, I'm gonna use cool gray. That's what I was thinking. You guys, you should be like, Davin, mind yourself here. But yeah, so I do have like a mermaid sketchbook with very little in it. I think what I might do is, if I keep coloring like this, suddenly I'm in a very big coloring mood. I might actually go through and kind of show you guys what I have. Oh, this is gonna die. I think this is my new one. Crap. I need to order some new OHUHU markers. What happened? Did I leave the cap off of you? Because I'm pretty sure my PB2 is going out too. Well, crap. Another haul video. I don't know. What was I saying? You guys, this is bad. I'm just like totally out of it today. I do have... Oh, I was talking about doing like a review and showing you things I've colored, because I have done a couple of coloring pages today and yesterday. One of which is for Coloring Diva. Monet, I have not forgotten about your color along. I just haven't had a chance to do them. And I'm sorry about the scrubby noise. Work has been murdering me and I don't appreciate it. So I'm trying to catch up. But I feel like it's just really hard for me to do right now. I have been coloring though, and I think I'm gonna definitely do a review of like everything I've done to this point for the year, because I haven't done a ton of coloring pages. But I have started on a couple, and if I can finish those, that'll be a nice little sharing session, viewing. See, I'm losing you guys. You gotta tell me. This is why I need to do live streams. I feel like it would be more fun to do it that way. To do like a sharing video to show you things that I have finished, things that I would like to finish. Oh, that is so dark. That is not the color I thought it was. So I'm thinking about doing one for like finished coloring pages, as well as just kind of sharing my projects. because I know not everybody has Instagram, and that is really dark suddenly too. Not everyone has Instagram, which is totally fine, like it happens. And everybody has a preference. And that way everybody can kind of see what's been going on and what I'm working on, and especially my painting stuff. That might be made into a video, but I'm scared to do a video on it because I've never really painted, so I don't know how it's going to look. And I would go into detail about what I'm going to be painting, but my husband's home and it's a surprise for him, and he's nosy and sometimes watches my videos. So I cannot share that with you until I'm actually working on it, because he's a nosy little brat. Alright, so this is a whole hot mess. Jesus, you guys. But you know what? I'm going to color this little branch up here. I think this is going to be a tree branch. I don't know if that's what it is, but it's going to be. And can you hear that rain outside? We weren't even supposed to, were we supposed to get rain? I think we were actually, because my phone was freaking out saying we were all going to die because of flooding. Which I believe, because our street is underwater right now. But, I mean, to be fair, this street usually floods whenever it's like someone sneezes or high humidity. Oh my god, you guys, the strangest thing happened. So I was hoping to save like my spooky stories and stuff for October, and maybe do like a stream or like a video sharing all my spooky stories. But you know what? This apartment could be freaking creepy sometimes, and I'm gonna share this story with you now because it was creepy as hell. So if you don't like creepy things, you might want to forward a bit. I'm going to zoom in a little bit since I'm going to be working more on the top of the page. So Anthony was gone, and we do almost everything together, which is, you know, probably sounds a little lame, but it's true. Like, he's my best friend kind of thing, so we do pretty much everything together, including like walking the dog and like going places. So that's part of the reason I had so much anxiety whenever I would go to a store or anything by myself, is because he would always be with me, and I always felt safer because he was with me. So with him gone, it worried me that people might notice that he was gone. I don't know why I have those paranoid thoughts, but I do. And you know, in this day and age, you never know who's watching you, or like what their motives are, and or anything like that. So, you know, it's just the world we live in, unfortunately. I feel justified in being paranoid. So he was gone, and I was getting, you know, a little down and kind of not wanting to do my job or much else, because I was just having a phase where all I wanted to do was basically sit in bed and relax. I wasn't used to having to handle all the housework by myself or have to do all the shopping and all the outings. Like, it was a lot for somebody that has had help for a long time. And for someone, you know, I don't want to keep saying that anxiety is my excuse, but I do have really bad anxiety, and it's really hard for me to function around other people. So I was deciding, okay, you know what, I'm going to do a video. I'm going to get off my butt and I'm going to do a video. But it was like 7 something at night. And I believe it was on a Saturday. So it wasn't like, you know, ungodly late, really. And I'm like, you know, this will be fine. And you really probably won't be able to hear me, even though I'm pretty sure all my neighbors think I'm nuts because they can see the lights. And they can probably hear me talking when they walk by out front. There's a walkway right in front of my window, and the windows are really thin, so you could hear when you're outside, but I don't think like my upstairs neighbor would be able to hear me, hopefully through the floor. At least that's what I thought. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to just start recording. I'm gonna do my haul video. It'll be nice and like laid back. I won't have to do too much and I'll be okay. And, you know, I had a really rough week, so I just wanted to do something simpler and kind of share some stuff with you guys. Well, I start talking, and I decided I was gonna, at first my thought was I was gonna do it face to face. So I was planning on having it set up where, where's GY3? I was planning on having it set up where like the camera was in front of me, you could see my face, and I would show you the items, especially the bigger ones like the containers and the canvases I bought, so I could show you exactly how big they were and all that fun stuff. Well, oh, that's really dark. We'll just go with it. So that started fine. I got my intro done. You know, not really thrilled with the fact that my face is on there, but that is something I have been considering doing more of. And I turned the camera off, and it freaked me out because I had moved my paint cart and my dad's guitar into the shot, so there would be a little bit more visual interest behind me, right? So that's what I was thinking, is like you could see a little more of the art room. Like it's not dressed up or anything, but you could still see something. And that'll be nice, that'll be kind of cute, and it'll be, you know, it'll just be quick, and then I'll go to the items. Well, my behind gets scared when I look up into the viewfinder of my camera, and I thought that I saw someone back there. And I scared myself is what it was, because I knew it was like the neck of my dad's guitar. Logically, I knew that's what it was. It was just my dad's guitar back there. I looked up and I saw like what looked like a black pant leg. So I scared myself. And I started to laugh about it and turn it on to tell you guys that. And I hear a knock on my door. And I'm like, oh crap, I am being loud. The neighbor really can hear me, and it's late. She's gonna be upset and ask me to stop. And you know, I'll apologize and I'll just shut up. I'll do it tomorrow morning or something like that. So I rush to go answer the door because I hadn't even turned on the camera. So I rush to go answer the door, and there's no one there. And I'm like, I heard knocking, and it distinctly sounded like knocking, like knock, knock, knock. And I heard it clear as day, and it was at my door. And it started to kind of creep me out because that same night I was having issues with my air conditioner leaking into my hallway, and I tried to call maintenance several times and the call wouldn't go through. So at that point it starts feeling like horror movie territory, like the phones aren't working for some reason, and like there's someone knocking on my door but there's no one there kind of thing. And it really made me uneasy because I realized that's not the first time that's happened. And my first thought was, okay, this is not good because someone actually paid attention and realizes I'm alone. They're messing with me. And yes, that is exactly where my mind went. I understand the entire world is not out to get you all the time, but you know what? When you're alone and you're not used to being alone and you're not comfortable in the neighborhood you live in because some shady stuff's been happening, you tend to get a little carried away when weird stuff goes down. So I'm thinking, like, what is, like, why, like, who was knocking on my door? Why would they just knock and run off? There wasn't a package left. Like, so it wasn't just, you know, a delivery or someone got my package accidentally and they're just kind of returning it. It wasn't that. So what was it? And like I mentioned, it occurred to me and really started to make me uneasy because I realized that was not the first time that's happened. Even when Anthony was home, I have had instances where I will be asleep, we'll both be asleep actually, and I'll wake up because in my dreams someone's knocking on a door, and then I'll wake up and I'll hear someone persistently knocking on our front door, and it'll be knock, 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 a little pause, knock, 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 and it's like I'd wake Anthony up and he'd go look and there would be no one there. So I'm not sure what the deal was. I don't know if it's like, I don't know if you guys believe in ghosts. I don't know if that's a lie. I do believe, and after some of the experience I've had, there's some weird stuff that has happened in this apartment I can't explain, but that doesn't mean it's haunted. So I'm not saying my apartment is haunted, but I'm just saying that was a really weird occurrence. And it's interesting that it happened after I was messing with my dad's guitar. And it just kind of had me thinking, like, maybe I should put this back and just leave it alone for a little bit. And I did. I put that thing right back where it was. And I turned off my camera, I went and I sat in my bedroom, and I was like, if I hear more knocking, I'm gonna scream. I was not wanting to deal with that. And it freaked me out. It really did. I didn't know what to think. So I was just like, I'm just gonna shut my face. I'm just gonna go to bed. I'm gonna watch some TV. And I didn't go to sleep with the light off. I slept with the TV on. Because I'm like, if I hear more knocking, I'm not gonna be okay. I've seen this movie, I know what happens, and I'm not into it. I know, I'm one of those people. Like, my mind immediately goes to, like, serial killer or something, but you know what? I'm still alive and I'm 33. It was just really weird. Should this be darker moss? I really like the colors I have going on here, but I don't want to have the color there. 2 is really, really dark. Is this 3 or 5? That's 3. I'm gonna do 5 and 8, I think, and make it darker. Darker up here, lighter down here. So that was just really weird to me. If you guys have had weird stuff happen, feel free to share your creepy story, because let me tell you, that was unnerving. And I still don't know what it was. All I know is it stopped, and I went to bed. I felt really bad, because I thought that maybe it was the neighbor, just kind of upset that I wouldn't shut up. But I don't know, it was so bizarre. And like I said, it's not the first time it's happened. And sometimes I wonder. Because it seems like, especially when I think about my dad a lot, or talk about, you know, doing something with his stuff or touching his stuff, it kind of gets more active. So I don't know if that was his way of just kind of saying hi, or don't touch my crap. Or maybe it was his way of saying, go play it. Even though, I'll be frank, I don't know how to play guitar. I was starting to learn, but it hurts your fingers. What I want is my drum set back. My mom is holding my drum set for me, because clearly you can't have a drum set in an apartment. I mean, there are people that actually do have them here, but I would feel like a jackass. Especially because I don't technically know how to play, but I would love to learn. So you would be hearing like the worst. You would just be hearing the worst repetitive, like, practice over and over. It wouldn't even be songs, it would just be practice. Though the next time that my neighbors get a little loud and rowdy with their little parties, that would be good retaliation, I think. This is way darker than I intended it to be, but whatever. I like this green. You'll at least, this at least pops out against it, and it looks like it's drying lighter, so that's good. I like that. I don't know if I'm going to finish this on camera. I might just kind of turn it off and go chill and kind of show you the end result. Because I'm running out of stories. Oh, you guys. Okay, so, you know, remember how I was telling you my phone is trying to convince me to buy things? Well, it really is. Like, this stupid thing is driving me freaking nuts. Every other day, it's like Michael's sending me an email trying to get me back in the store. Or it's, Etsy has become a big one. And Etsy is the expensive one. So, I was looking at, like, the beginner kits for the punch craft, like the punch needles. And it decided, you know, I was going to look at other craft kits because there might be something cute. And I have a ton of succulents. I need to figure out something to kind of put them in, and I was wanting to do some painting without sculpting because I just don't feel like sculpting right now. So I thought maybe getting just like a ceramic kit, like for kids or something, would be really fun to just buy and then paint. So I was looking into that, and I found a seller. I think I'm going to actually put a link to her shop below if you're interested. They're super cute. I have one over here I might show you, but basically they're little ceramic kits. They come with little like craft paints, and you get the ceramic, you get the paint, and you get a sealant for it, which is, you know, all I really wanted. And I have a ton of craft paint, so I can use whatever colors I really feel like. But it comes with, you know what, I'm gonna show you. So like, this is one set. I bought this for my succulents, and I'm gonna get this all over my pictures. So it's like a cute little bowl, and it's got little flowers on it, which I think is adorable. So it comes with that, and because I bought 3 kits, I got like 3 little brushes, and it comes with like, one second. These kinds of like little paints or whatever. I might use them, but I probably won't, because I have a ton of just like those acrylic craft paints I just bought. But I thought it was a really cute kit, and I bought 3 different ones. I bought the bowl, and I bought a statue of 2 little elephants and a little house. And I think I'm gonna paint them on the channel, at least 1 or 2 of them. I'm gonna move these guys back and do some more of these. But I was really excited to get it. And, all right, you can see, good. I'm really excited to get it and actually just dig into it, because I think that'll be fun and not mindless, but just less pressure. For some reason, just painting something silly colors seems like it'll be relaxing. And I really wanted to just give it a try. And when I saw that she had so many different little statue figures, it was like, oh, this is gonna be perfect. That little bowl I'm gonna seal it up after I paint it, and I'm gonna put my succulents in it. And yeah, I know it doesn't have a drainage hole, but basically it's gonna just be like something I set the actual pot of succulents inside of, so that I can take it out, water it, put it back so it's more decorative. And I don't know, it just seems fun to do. And if you're looking for a craft kit or something, I'll leave that in the comments, or not the comments, the description, because I mean, it got here really fast. It wasn't damaged, none of them were. They were packaged really, really well too. So I mean, so far I'm really happy with it. And if you have kids or something, like, that'd be perfect little, you know, rainy day, you know, activity for them. So I thought that would be kind of fun to mention, because I swear I'm not like 5 years old, but sometimes it's fun to do random little things, especially when you're not in the mood to make them yourself and you just want to do some painting. And sometimes I'm not in the mood, like, I'm getting in the mood to start sculpting again, but especially because now I have a shelf to actually put them on. I'm actually getting really excited about the idea of sculpting, but maybe I should show you guys that, like, at some point, like my current art room setup, because I'm so excited. I just got a floating shelf from Lowe's. I mean, it wasn't anything super nice. My husband hung it up for me. I threw up the other ceramics. I threw up the 2 little sculptures I did. I have my little house plants up there, and it's just really cute. And just something that small makes it feel more homey. So I was really happy. Okay, and I just have to say, I have to bring this up. There's a dude, I don't know how recent it was, I didn't read the article, but Facebook has been really bad lately about showing articles about random crap. And there's one about a dude that got bitten by an alligator. And you guys know how I feel about alligators and about getting in the water in Florida and Louisiana in general. Like, there are death machines in the water no matter what. Like, I don't care where you are. I don't care if it's your swimming pool. You better check before you jump into your swimming pool if you live in Florida or Louisiana. That's all I gotta say. And apparently, from what I understand in the comments, because I did not read the article, but it was interesting because this guy was in North Florida, I want to say, close to the Sarasota area or something, I think. And he was bitten by an alligator. He was free diving and he was looking for megalodon teeth. And yes, there are megalodon teeth in rivers in Florida. I just want to put that out there right now. Peace River is one of the biggest hot spots to find megalodon teeth, or at least it was. It's probably been picked clean at this point. Like, in Florida, period. I mean, it may be one of the biggest spots anywhere. So there are like megalodon ancient shark's teeth in Florida, in rivers and places like that, and they can go for a lot of money depending on, you know, the condition, the quality, the color, all this stuff. So that's what this guy was doing. He was being adventurous. He was trying to find some meg teeth. I don't know if he was like trying to sell them or if he was just trying to find them for his own collection, you know, whatever. But he was free diving in an area that was apparently well known to locals as basically being a really bad place to go swimming. You don't swim there because of all the big giant alligators. So he comes up to the surface and he gets bitten by an alligator. And the article showed, or the picture for the article showed the stitches he had in his skull. Basically, it chomped down, and I don't know how he lived. I don't understand. Unless it was just a smaller alligator. That's the only thing I can think of, is it was a small one, I guess. But the guy lived somehow. And they were talking about, you know, in the comments, they were kind of arguing amongst themselves, as they do, about how stupid it was and whether or not there's actual shark's teeth down there. And the only thing I'm thinking is, you're in Florida. You've got to expect there to be alligators anywhere. Like, I don't know. I don't personally, I collect megalodon teeth. I do. I buy them usually because, you know, I don't want to go into the river where there's alligators. So I'm the person buying these teeth for a stupid price. But I don't know that I would ever risk my life to go diving for them. I just couldn't. I couldn't. Like, I'll just tell you that now. I was talking to my friend from work, and we were discussing all the rain we were getting. It was really bad. And I had made a joke, you know, well, I hope my bed floats because I'm going to be kayaking down the river. And she asked me if I could swim. And I kind of thought about it for a second. And I was like, you know, no, just forget that. I'm just going to freaking sit here and die. I will drown in my apartment before I get into the water with a bunch of alligators and snakes. I'm not doing it. I can't. I will not do it. And that's honestly partly true. Like, I don't think I could. I think I would just, like, fade from existence. That's what my husband likes to say. He's like, whenever I think about you, like, ending up in a situation like those poor people from that movie Open Water or whatever, where, guys, leave me out some more. I'm just paint. I just got marker on my light. Jesus. He's like, the movie Open Water, where the people were left for the dive boat. He's like, if I ever imagine you, like, in a situation like that, I think you would just fade from existence. You wouldn't die. Nothing would happen to you. You would just, like, cease to exist. And he's totally right. Like, I would just right away. I wouldn't even wait to try and be rescued. I would just go. And what's scary about that is, for some reason, that popped up on Facebook. I don't know why. All I know is that popped up on my Facebook, and they were, of course, arguing in the comments, or... No, this one wasn't arguing in the comments. This one was a bunch of people sharing their own experiences with the same thing in the comments, and that was a terrifying thought to me. Like, I will apparently never, ever go diving on an excursion, ever. Because apparently that happens. And you're gonna put me in the ocean with our sharks? No. No. My husband was on a boat, in the Gulf, and he would send me pictures of the sharks that he would see. And they were smaller sharks, they weren't bad. They were just like, I don't know, little 4-foot, well, that's not little, but they were littler 4-foot sharks in the middle of the Gulf, eating scraps that the cooks would throw overboard. Not trash, just like food scraps at the end of the day. And like, that was fine. They were little, yeah, they could, you know, do some damage, but they were little and they were cute, and they were like little makos and black tips. But, you know, looking at them from afar is much different than being in the water with them. That's all I'm gonna say. Yes, I have an irrational fear of all things that can kill me. That's fine. I'm allowed to be that way. Alright, I think I'm gonna come to the end of my chatting portion just because I'm talking a lot and I'm getting tired. I think I'm gonna take a break and get some more coffee, which is exactly what I need, and finish this up off camera, then come back and show you how it ends up, because I know some of you don't have Instagram and I don't want to leave you out. So that's my current plan, because we're getting to a good part. I kind of wish I had done the flowers, but I'm a little overwhelmed with all the different colors I can use right now. So we'll come back to it. I'm just not going to worry about it. I'm going to chill. I'm going to get something to eat for myself. I'm going to get some coffee, and I'll be back to show you how this ends up. Alright, and here is the final image as promised. I tried to keep it kind of simple, just repeating the same colors over and over, though I did use more than I typically would in the page out of Nice Little Town 6. It was fun to have a little bit of a color explosion, but still keep it kind of dialed back. I really enjoyed the greens. The flowers were definitely my favorite part to do, but it took me a really long time because I couldn't decide what color flower I wanted to be, and it was a whole process. So it's good that I did that off camera, but I really like how it came out. The flowers definitely pop against the color of this rock/potato thing, and the mouse just looks so content to just chill out and nap. I really envy him some days. So I had a ton of fun doing it. I hope that you are as productive and calm as I am now. I hope you're ready to face the upcoming week. Be sure to let me know what you worked on while I sat here and rambled at you for however long this video is. And definitely make sure to check out my Instagram. If you like this video, there's going to be similar things posted on Instagram that will not have videos made of them, but it's still going to be pretty neat. And if you want to venture back next week, I'm going to be doing some more similar things. It may be an illustration, it may be something totally different, I haven't decided yet. But I will try and do something kind of creative, definitely new, and definitely something to help us all prepare for the week that is to come. That's assuming that we don't float away, because if this rain doesn't stop, I'm not sure we're not going to lose power. Yeah, there's the thunder. I'm not sure that we're not going to lose power and just like break off as a state and drift into the Gulf. So, assuming that doesn't happen, I will see you next week, and I hope to see you then as well. Thank you all, be safe, be dry, and I'll see you then.